So, hey guys, it's Bats here, and today we are finally back with another video. I fucking disappeared again. I get it. I know you guys want videos. Um, but look, alright, man, the last few months of my life have been an absolute shit show, and this, it just happens a lot, alright? I was in an extremely toxic relationship that I'm no longer in. And it was completely mentally draining me. I've been struggling with a fentanyl addiction, which I'm also off of again now. And I've just had a lot of shit going on in my life that was preventing me from making videos. And on top of that, the CPU cooling in my computer fucking broke, so I haven't been able to really, get gameplay or make videos for a while. So yeah, just a lot of shit just went wrong like in the span of a month, and I haven't been able to really make videos both because of mental and you know like actual physical constraints of my computer not fucking working right. But you know, I am back for the time being. I'm gonna try to make videos again, but I can't really promise anything. I'm trying to put my life together, and it's hard to do that and make videos at the same time. But I swear I haven't forgotten about you guys. And also, I want to say before we get into this story, I know this is a long intro, but thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. You guys are fucking amazing. And I appreciate every single one of you. I know it's not, a huge audience or whatever, but to me, it means a lot. Every single one of you guys are fucking awesome, and as you guys know, I try to respond to all the comments and everything, and if you ever have a question or you want to talk to me, anything, hit me up on Discord, Twitter, whatever, dude. Anyway, let's get into this shit. I'm not going to waste any more of you guys' time. So, I decided to come back with an absolute slipper slapper of a fucking story, alright? Today, we're talking about the time that I did acid and ketamine together, alright? Now, this day started out, I can't remember exactly what day it is. I think it might have been a Friday. But so on this day, I was going into work. I work with my cousin. It's like I'm basically their janitor. Like I go in and I clean shit. I organize all their equipment and make sure everything works, and do other shit like that just around the office space, their little warehouse they have. And it's a pretty good gig. It's only part-time, but I do make some pretty decent money on it, and it supports my habits. So that's it. And on this day I went into work with my cousin. He drove me up there, and I think he was also he was sometimes he just comes to like drive me there and just supervise me, and other times he has to actually go out and do his job. But I think this was one of the days that he had to actually go out, so I was just alone there at work the entire day. And I knew, it was a Friday because it was payday. And so the whole day I was just thinking, oh man, I can't wait to get off work and get my fucking money, get fucking zooted. Because I was out of weed at this point, and I had been sober for maybe a week, I'd say. And I was not happy about it, alright? I was most definitely not happy about it, right? So, eventually time comes and I get off of work. I actually had to wait maybe an hour or so for my cousin to get back from his job, what he was doing, so he could come pick me up and take me home. And, we drove home, and, it was just a pretty normal drive. It's about 20 minutes, just sat there listening to music in the car. By the way, the speakers in our car are fucking awesome, dude. I love listening to music in that car when I'm tripping balls. It's fucking amazing. If you guys have never listened to music in a car, especially like a newer car, dude, oh my god, you gotta. I'm telling you, man. Anyway, but so eventually I get home, and of course, the first thing that I do is I hit up the plug, and this I've had this plug for a little bit, but I don't really hit him up that often because one, ketamine's expensive, and honestly, all of his shit is expensive. But the thing is all of his shit is really good. Like he has Molly, acid, ketamine, and all of it is pretty expensive. Like it's definitely more than what your average price would be. But I would say it's always worth it because everything I've gotten from this guy has been absolute fucking fire. All right. You're gonna I mean, I can't show you anything, but you're gonna understand when I explain this in a little bit. All right, so I hit this guy up, and I think he told me like he could be there in like an hour or something like that, some amount of time that wasn't too long but kind of long. And so I went and I got my money ready. I had to go to a store and pull it out with my card. And then I come back and I'm waiting, and I told him, I was like, hey, let me get about like a half gram of K, and like I think I got 4 tabs maybe. And I'm pretty sure, I think he said they were 200 UG. They definitely felt like 200 UG because this is a crazy fucking trip for me. But so I'm sitting here and I'm chilling and I'm waiting for him. He finally texts me. He tells me come out, get in the back of the car. I'm like, I bet. So I head out. I go down and I hop in the back. And this motherfucker, I don't know why plugs do this. I genuinely don't get it. He has got his girlfriend and his dog in the car, bro. Like, what the fuck? You didn't have to bring the whole family to the deal, bro. What the fuck? Seriously, multiple plugs have done this, like, multiple times to me. Where, like, I don't get it. Why did you bring your whole family to the deal, bro? I swear to God, if someday I get in the fucking plug's car and he's got his, like, fucking 2-year-old son in the back seat, I'm just leaving, bro. Like, on God, alright, anyway, off topic, let's get back to it. So, he hands me the shit, I hand him the money, it's a quick, easy deal. He says, good looks, have a good one, bro. I'm like, yep, you too, bro. Peace out, and then I hop out the whip, and I'm back in the house. Alright, and so I go and I take a good look at this, this ketamine, these tabs, and they're looking pretty spicy. I'm not gonna lie, those motherfuckers looking good. That ketamine, dude, it was straight crystals. Like, it didn't, like, look like no fucking white, powder, no fucking, like, salt or any shit. No, this was straight, like, crystals. It was beautiful. Like, they were like sparkling and shit, I swear. That shit was beautiful. Anyway, so I get in, and the first thing that I want to do is, I gotta take a line, of course, because originally I wasn't planning on doing them both together. I was just gonna do the ketamine, and I ended up doing the acid later. But so I chopped up, I think, like, maybe two lines, I think. 2 pretty decent lines. And me personally, I don't really like snorting things, and it's kind of hard for me, so I have to really, like, I have to hype myself up a little bit. And so I rolled up a little dollar, and I was getting ready to snort my K. And I played some fire music. I can't remember the song that I was playing at the time, but I always I play music when I consume substances that I don't like consuming, because it just makes it easier. Focus on the music instead of the fucking pain of literal crystals just stabbing into your nose and absorbing into it, But anyway, so I fucking rail these 2 lines, all right? And what I do is, because I'm always afraid that, like, the powder is gonna fall out or it's not gonna go through, So what I do is I snort the line, and then I, like, tilt my head back and I plug the nostril up with my, like, hand or something, so I make sure that it doesn't get out, and then I just snort really fucking hard to try and get it all through. Because also, my nose is, like, just usually really stuffy, and so it's just hard for me to snort shit. But anyway, goddamn, it's already 9 minutes in, we're just getting to the ingestion of the drug, what the fuck. Anyway, whatever. But, so I rail this line, and right after I rail the other one, and almost instantly, I wouldn't say exactly instantly, but almost instantly, I started feeling, this just overwhelming wave of calmness. It wasn't really like euphoria yet, but it was just a wave of calmness. Just, you're just completely content with everything that was going on, And it feels really weird how things look because they look different, but they don't look crazy different like on a psychedelic, It really, the best way to describe it is it's like a dream. It's literally like being in a dream. And, it's weird because my other disso experience is basically just DXM, and it feels similar but very different to DXM because it's definitely not as stimulating, and it's just like there's not as much visual to it, and I just feel like it's not as euphoric. It's just it definitely feels like a tranquilizer. It feels like what it's meant to be for. Like, honestly, I felt like when I was on the ketamine, I felt like, like I just woke up from like surgery or something. Like, that's, but it felt, and then eventually the euphoria does come in, but I feel like the like sedation definitely comes in first. And of course, the first thing that I do is, I get back to listening to music, of course. And music on dissos is like the best fucking thing ever. Like, just lay down, close your eyes, and listen to some music on K, and you're going to another fucking world, my boy. And that goes for all dissos, honestly. And, so honestly, at this point, I was really just chilling. Like, nothing, like, really, like, super crazy happens because I was just chilling in my room. I was just watching, videos and listening to music and just, like, chilling the fuck out. But eventually, my cousin comes in, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna go on a walk. You wanna go on a walk with me? I'm like, yeah, sure, bro, whatever. And, we had a nice little walk around. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of hard to walk. I almost fell a couple times, but it's all good. But, we just walked. We had a nice little walk. It was like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. Walked around, like, the park near our house and just talked. I was just chilling. But then, we get home from that, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, I'm really not as high as I want to be. I think I should get higher. I'm going to do more ketamine. I was already planning on doing all the ketamine in one night, but, I wasn't planning on doing the acid yet. And so I went and I chopped up some more K, and, I railed, I think, two or three more lines, and at this point I was almost out, and I was feeling fucking nice. Those extra lines, like, they smacked me in the face. Like, I had a fucking, like, I was, just like a wave of euphoria, and just like, it was just like instant gratification, and snorting it was also much easier. But something I noticed when I snort things is my nose gets, like, the nostril that I snorted it through gets really fucking runny, especially with K. It was like super duper runny when I did this. And so at this point I'm not thinking, I guess I was thinking clearly, but not like, I wasn't being cautious. And so I sit here and I'm looking at these tabs and I'm like, man, I really want to just, I really want to just take these tabs right now. I think I had like 4 of them, and I was like, yeah, like, this will probably be chilling. And I mean, I'm on ketamine, so it'll be fine, and so I'm like, all right, fuck it. Yeah, I'm taking the tabs. And so I took them out of the bag, and I put all 4 of those bitches on my tongue. Now this is where it really starts going cuckoo, right? Now, I'm sitting here, and I'm waiting for the come up of this acid, and I decide, all right, well, while I'm waiting for the come up, I'm going to do the rest of my K so that I don't, have, because I usually have, like, come up anxiety. In general, I'm just kind of an anxious person a lot of the time, and yeah, like I just, it's come ups are usually hard for me on psychedelics, but then afterwards I'm usually chilling. I mean, I'll have little moments of anxiety, but it's usually not as bad as the come up. The come up's usually the worst the anxiety gets. So, um, you know, I railed the rest of my K. I don't remember how much it was, probably like maybe a line. Um, and at this point I'm fucking blasted. All right, I was straight fucking K-holed at this point, and I had the music going, and it was like it sounded like it was getting further and further away, like the speaker was like getting further away, and it almost felt like I was like sinking into the bed. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like it just felt like, or not sinking into the bed, like the bed was sinking into the ground. Like it still felt like I was on the bed, but it felt like the bed itself was sinking into the ground. And it was super fucking cool. Like, I mean, that's one of my favorite things about dissos is just the feeling that you're moving when you are absolutely still, and just feeling like shit is like melting and like moving around you, and you're like sinking up and down and shit. And especially with the music, it's just like it's a heavenly experience, man. It's crazy. And now I'm sitting here, and about 30 to 45 minutes go in, and I'm starting to feel that acid come on, right? I can feel it, like, because it's a very, like, it's distinctly, I could tell that it was the acid come up, but it definitely was changed by the fact that I was already on ketamine. Because, I don't know, it felt like, also, it felt slightly more intense, the feeling of the come up, but at the same time, I had absolutely no anxiety about it. Like, I was completely like content. I was just like, whatever happens, that's whatever, like it's just how it is. Hold up, I need to hydrate real quick. Everybody take a sip of water right now, if you're not already. And I know a lot of you motherfuckers smoke to these videos too. If you're smoking right now, all right, take a fat fucking hit of whatever you're taking right now. Fortunately, I'm out of weed right now, so I would go with you guys, but hey, all you troopers out there, take a fat hit of whatever you're smoking on right now, and then take a sip of water right after. Gotta stay hydrated, all right, But anyway, let's get back to it. So, I'm feeling the come up of the acid at this point, and it's like, like I said, it was just like really calming, but I have those like butterflies in my stomach. That's the best way to describe it, really, because that's what it is. And it really does. It feels like it's in your stomach. And I was just like, all right, here we go. And acid, the visuals, it's like, the best way to describe it is that, like, somebody literally just churned the graphics up on life. Like, how when you take, it's like turning on the fucking, like, Minecraft, RTX mode, like, or, like, the ray tracing mods, like, the ultra realistic, like, Minecraft mods. That's what it's like. It's like going from normal Minecraft to that. And just, like, it almost feels like, it really just feels like you're in a video game. Like, honestly, a lot of the time when I'm on acid, and it's just psychedelics in general, I feel like I'm in a video game, and things start to feel really surreal, like they just aren't real. And, oh man, sorry, I'm blanking out here, guys, but, it's just, I don't know, it's really hard to describe. But, then as time starts going on and more visuals start to happen, and these were really fucking strong tabs, all right? I took 4 tabs of what was not, probably, okay, maybe not exactly 200 UG, but probably like at least 130 to 50 UG, right? So that's like fucking, what, 4 tabs of that? That's like 600 fucking UG. So I was going fucking cuckoo in this bitch. So eventually things start wiggling, they start moving, and, I just start feeling my fucking, like, my brain just dissolving, almost. I just, I was just like, I was honestly, like, it felt like the start of, like, an ego death. I didn't have an ego death, but I felt like I was close to it. And I think maybe the ketamine had something to do with that. I don't know, maybe just you know, how calm it makes you, or it interacts somehow and makes it less, you know, capable of giving you an ego death. I don't know. I'm not that. Don't take my word on that. I have no clue. I'm probably wrong about all of that, and somebody in the comments is gonna fucking, absolutely dunk on me. Like, well, actually, you're wrong. Ketamine actually, it makes the acid 20,000 times stronger, and you have the craziest ego death of your life, and, you don't even remember your name anymore. Like, even weeks, months after the trip, you don't remember your name. You don't know who you are. Alright? L plus ratio, fuck you, bats, I'm unsubscribing, eat a dick. And fuck you for not uploading for, 7 months. That's gonna be the comments. I'm sorry, I'm fucking goofy today, but, anyway, but I was just chilling, and I'm still listening to music, and, shit, and at this point, my girlfriend at the time, who the toxic bitch that I broke up with, this is where it starts to get kind of bad, alright, she came home, and she started texting me, and, she was in a bad mood, and it's not a good start, alright? You see, this woman had BPD, and if you don't know what that is, that's borderline personality disorder. Basically, for whatever mood they're in, they have a different personality, kind of, and they fluctuate through moods a lot, and they're very difficult to deal with if they don't go to therapy and actually try and deal with their problem, which this girl didn't, and that was kind of a problem as well, because me and this girl, we had been together for about a year and a half. It's a girl I've talked about in, some other stories going back as far as, the Dirty 30 journey and stuff like that. We were together for about a year and a half, maybe a little longer. And we broke up multiple times during that run. We were on and off all the time. We would break up, get back together the next day, break up for a couple days, get back together, just over and over and over again, right? And honestly, at this point, I can't even fucking remember what this shit was about, but honestly, I don't think it was about anything. She was just she's just in a bad mood, and, she just had no control when she was in a bad mood to, she couldn't just tell me, oh, hey, I'm not having a good day, don't really want to talk right now, I'll talk to you later, love you, bye. That would have been fine. But instead, she tries to talk to me, but she's angry as fuck, and she knows that she's just gonna be a bitch, and it's there's no point in that. All you're gonna do is hurt me, because, I get fucking, look, I'm the kind of person that words don't really hurt me from anyone else, except for the person that I fucking let in. If when I love someone like I love this girl, alright, the things that you say to me will fuck me up, and especially when I'm tripping balls on acid, that shit's fuck, it'll fuck with your head. And I can't really remember everything that was said, or any of that, nor will I even go into it, really, because privacy. But eventually we ended up arguing, and I'm pretty sure we actually, I think she, broke up with me that day, and it really did fuck up the trajectory of my trip a little bit, and I'm not gonna lie, alright, look, alright, I know a lot of people, they're like, a real man don't cry, you're a bitch, whatever, dude, bro, I was in love with this girl. We dated for a year and a half, my longest relationship, and we'd broken up multiple times before, but I never knew if that time was gonna be the time that it was serious, and it just and the fact that I was also tripping, it did not help, and so yeah, bro, I cried. I'm not gonna lie, I cried, and it was bad. I'm talking fucking sobbing, sniveling, fucking snot coming out your nose, fucking scrunched up face, gross crying, bad. It was just, man, but I don't know how I managed to do this, because honestly after this I just felt so fucking empty. Um but I just, I started playing music again, and it didn't completely ruin my trip, which I'm glad of. I honestly can't say I've had a bad trip, really. I've had bad moments in trips, but I've never had like a bad trip, really. And I think the ketamine definitely did help. It definitely dulled it down a bit. If I was on 4 tabs of like pretty good acid and that shit happened, and without the ketamine, I would have lost my fucking mind. But it's all good, because the ketamine was there to save me. Um, but yeah, and at that point, like, I was kind of bummed out, but I didn't want it to ruin my trip, so I was just determined to chill and have a good rest of my night. And at this point, this was like the peak, like, or just about past the peak of my trip, and the visuals were getting fucking crazy. Like, my whole room was like melting and fucking wiggling and wobbling all over the place and shit. And I was seeing like fractals, but they weren't like the usual like kind of like rainbowy colors, I guess. They were like kind of like a purple-ish, like a purple green kind of pattern, I guess you could say. And it looked like it was like tearing out from reality. Like there was reality, stuff that looked kind of normal but was moving, but then there was these fractals that were just like breaking out of like the walls and shit, or like just straight out of midair, like a fucking portal. And I was just like, what the fuck, dude? I remember once I tried to reach out and like touch one of them, and then it looked like my finger like went through it, and I was like, what the fuck? But and then it like shrunk down and it was gone. But then there was like more in different areas, and and like my hands kind of had like a kind of like colorful outline, I guess. I was having like tracers when I moved my hand in front of my face and shit. It was, like, it was pretty fucking strong visuals. I mean, I took 4 tabs. What do you expect? And like, acid just makes me really fucking stupid. Like, it makes me just forget whatever I'm thinking about, which also might be part of why the whole thing with that girl didn't fuck up my entire trip, because I'll be sitting there and I'm trying to like look up something on YouTube, and halfway through typing it on acid, I forget what the fuck I'm typing, and I'm like, I don't know what this means. And I just start forgetting the meanings of words and stop understanding shit and stop being able to think normally and formulate like sentences or talk about anything, because I just get I just get sidetracked in my brain so much, and it's hard to keep a coherent thought. Especially, like, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be that, like, it's definitely something that happens to everybody, but it seems like it's more of a thing for me. Maybe it's because I have like anxiety and stuff. I really don't know, but I just can't keep a coherent thought, and my brain's bouncing around a lot, and I'm just thinking about a bunch of different weird shit, and I keep forgetting what I'm thinking about. And so it's just, I don't know, man. I always feel super stupid, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, I know, I just had this in my head. I know what it is, but I can't remember. I feel like a fucking idiot. And I just start forgetting what the fuck shit is, where shit is, and that's like kind of just part of like the ego dissolution and whatnot. It's just like forgetting shit and starting to not feel, or associations with things. But yeah, I mean, at this point, so I was still definitely feeling the ketamine, but I feel like I was kind of starting to come down a little bit from it. Ignore that back there. That's my fucking cat running around on the, we have little shelves on the wall, and they run on them, and they're really loud, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, the rest of the night, honestly, like, it was, that's another thing I forgot to mention. I was hearing, like, metallic vibration the entire time. Like, as soon as the acid hit, like, it was like a and And at first, I wasn't sure if it was like an actual sound that was like happening outside of my room, because it didn't sound like it was inside the room. It sounded like it was outside, like not even like just outside my room, like in the house. It sounded like it was outside. And so I was sitting there, I was like, what the fuck, bro? Did aliens just fucking show up, dude? Is E.T. gonna come and fucking finger my ass? Like, I don't know, but, like, I don't know. It sounded fucking crazy. And I was just, like, I would just sit there sometimes, I'd turn off the music, and I'd just listen to it, and I'd just be like, what the fuck? Because it was so loud. Just the woo, just fucking crazy shit. It was loud as hell. And it also, I have this weird feeling anytime that I do dissos and like sometimes psychedelics, but usually it's the combination of the two or dissos on their own that give me this feeling. But I have this feeling that like my room, the room that I am in, is the only thing in the world, the only thing in existence. And outside of it would just be like a black void. Like, you know that episode of Rick and Morty where they like break time or whatever? And they're in, like, this void full of cats and shit, and their house is just, like, you know, floating in this void. That's what I imagine it's like. Like, I imagine that the room is just, you know, just, like, floating in some kind of void, and that there's nothing else outside of that, you know? And yeah, that's the best way that I can describe it. And it also kind of feels like it's moving sometimes, so that also adds to the feeling of it. It feels like, you know, like I'm floating through space in this little fucking box. And it's always it's really weird. But I love it. It's so cool. But anyway, I don't really have that much else interesting to say about it. I mean, this was a pretty chill trip. I was just chilling at my house most of the time. You know, just chilling in my room. The most interesting things that really happened was just the effects of the substance and me getting fucking broken up with, and then she got back together with me the next day, you know, like usual. By the way, if you see this video, fuck you. You fucked me up, and you're a bitch. Because I know she watches these videos sometimes. So yeah, fuck you. Anyway, without any further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to try to upload more videos. Hopefully my computer will work long enough that I can actually edit this and upload this today. But thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers once again. I really appreciate all the support that I've gotten from you guys, all you guys that ask me if I'm okay and where I've been. I really appreciate you guys so fucking much. That you guys even care enough to ask. It's really nice. And remember, leave a comment and I will always respond. There's like, I maybe miss 1 or 2 comments per video. Alright, as long as I can respond to every comment, I will try my best to. So leave those down below if you like these kinds of videos, and of course leave a like to show me support, subscribe to the channel, add me on social medias if you want to talk to me, all that good stuff. So without any further ado, stay zooted, stay lifted, peace.
Jigs up, I don't wanna fight, but push this up. Big crush on a piece of paper, now you switched up.